I think I'm my own little hero, you know? Someone once told me I sing the song that only I could sing. I think in a lot of ways, in retrospect, I was always worried about my chest. And I didn't really know that until after I had the surgery. I always wore boys' clothes. Even when I was little, I was shopping in the boys section. Anytime I had to dress up, it was like I had to go back to dresses, and that was pretty horrible. There was a green velvet dress that I had to wear to Christmas. And I had like frilly socks with like black little Mary Jane shoes to match. Like, it was a whole mess. And I wasn't having it. I was screaming. I always was like, I don't know why I can't wear shorts at the pool. Even when I was little in swimsuits, was like, I'm not down with these bikini things. I feel like a lot of women's swimsuits are like very serious and like sexualized and like, that's not the sexy that I am. Swimming trunk sexy. That's the sexy that I am. And I mean, it only got worse from there as you get older and clothing starts to change for bodies that are changing. It gets tighter and strappier. And yeah, then I really was like, I'm gonna go back to the little boy section. I questioned my gender before I questioned my sexuality. I was an athlete. I had a problem with like, why can't I play baseball? Why is this separated? I think that's weird. Why is this unequal? But also like, I could do anything a guy could do. I didn't think through it enough to be like, I'm not a woman and I don't identify with that. The only thing I knew is that like, I'm not gonna do this stuff that you're telling me to do that's feminine because I'm a girl. So I had top surgery. It was about 2 months ago. It never really felt like a serious part of my body to begin with, or a part of my body that I wasn't protective of or had the same like inhibitions that my friends did about their chest. This is a major surgery. The recovery could have complications. I'm a healthy person. I'm putting my health at risk just to do this. So it's like, I'm giving up the good for the great. I hope. I don't know. I remember when the surgeon took the vest off for the first time after she had prefaced that my nipple was in the middle of my tattoo. I remember just thinking, oh my God, I knew it. That was my first thought. I wasn't wrong. Boobs were wrong. Y'all look weird on me. Whoever put boobs on, that was a rude prank. After I got my bandages off, then I went with my friend to get a margarita. And I was just bursting with just powerful energy. And she goes, your energy has changed. You feel different. And I was like, I feel that I feel different. I'm relaxed. I'm relieved. There's no like putting on some facade or trying to be more masculine than I am to make sure people get it. I don't have to like shove it down anyone's throat anymore. I just feel like, I think I'm more questioning now after surgery. What is gender? Mm-hmm. Like, what am I? No pronouns like hurt my feelings or feel like this is definitely it. I remember in therapy, the day that I sort of came to accept all this, I called my best friend afterwards and cried so hard on this bathroom floor right there. I'm not a woman. Yeah. I'm somewhere in between. I mean, as far as like medically goes, I'm transgender. I have dysphoria. Whether I'm going to transition or not chemically is a different question. And I've always felt in my body who I was. Like, it doesn't feel like I transitioned, but more just like accepted or like finally was able to like really appreciate myself. I don't know. I don't know that I'm transgender. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I'm not. The bathroom is complicated. I get kicked out of women's bathrooms a lot by authorities. I got kicked out of a women's bathroom in Dallas recently. I had made eye contact with this guy before, took a right for the women's restroom, and he came right in behind me and was like, hey, you can't be in here. I was like, hey, I'm gonna finish doing what I'm doing in here. I walked out. I said, look, man, the only person who's in the wrong bathroom right now is you. I'm gonna leave, but I'm gonna dry my hands. All good. I definitely get treated differently by men and women after surgery. I get taken for a guy all the time. So I notice women like walk faster ahead of me on the sidewalk. I get head nods from straight, or what I'm guessing is like straight cis men, like in some sort of like secret club I'm now in that I didn't mean to join. One of my questions was, okay, if I'm into women who like women, and then I look like maybe not so much woman anymore, who could possibly be attracted to you, right? Mm-hmm. Pretty soon after surgery, a straight girl sort of was more flirty than I was prepared to handle. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm in a different category to some people now. I love my queer community. I feel understood by people who are in that community. So I like queer women. Holding on to that identity was very important to me, and it still is. There's a couple different kinds of surgery you can have, different methods that will make different scars or barely any scar, or scars in different places. I was not worried about any of that. I was like, just get in there, get it all out. I really didn't want the scars to go away. I wanted to make sure, again, that I like read queer to my queer community. Visually, it was important for me that it just not mirror like the like reminiscence of a breast. I couldn't have that shadow there all the time. I've worn a look like this before surgery, but I wore my shirt just as unbuttoned with no bra. But I just wasn't like comfortable. I just like feel better in now. Like I feel more comfortable being like, yeah, whatever. When I look at old pictures of myself, I feel pretty vulnerable because it's pretty uncomfortable for me. I mean, a lot of people don't really get it, so like friends won't think about it but send old pictures because for them it's a happy memory. It's not necessarily always like, I'm like, oh, man, that kid was not really okay. The first time I told my brother, I just texted him, hey, heads up, you might want to mute me on social media because I'm going to do an Instagram story about this top surgery thing. I'm fine, I'm safe, I'm healthy, but I can't have boobs anymore because they don't match my gender. And the text he sent back was really nice. My brothers used to call me baby sister a lot, and so he said baby sibling. I told my dad, he just accepted it and moved on. We were drinking a beer. And I was like, hey, just so you know, I don't really do boobs anymore. And he was like, okay, we don't need to talk about this anymore. I was like, okay. I'm doing it with no real regard to anyone else's opinions on my style. You know what you feel good in, and you know what you look best in, truly. It just takes that heroic act of doing it until it becomes really comfortable. And then you find freedom in that. You unlock yourself. Your first opportunity to tell someone who you are is with what you're wearing. So once you do that, you've already said everything, you know, a pretty good chunk of who you are. So you can feel free to be that way, to behave the way that you want to be treated.
We are Lisa and Lily, the creators of StyleLikeU.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Getting Dressed in Active Self-Love, created with Schmidt's in honor of Pride.
Certified vegan and cruelty-free, Schmidt's deodorant raises the bar for natural products by using innovative botanicals and mineral-derived ingredients.
Like getting dressed, knowing what goes on to your body should be an act of self-love.
If you agree that facades separate us and being radically honest brings us together, help spread the movement for self-acceptance by subscribing to our YouTube channel and joining us on Patreon so that we can continue to do our part to build a world where everyone feels comfortable and safe in their skin.
And don't forget to click the bell so you know when we have...
Sorry, I laughed.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to click the bell so you will know when we've released a new video. We would also love it if you would take a moment to comment and tell us what you wear that makes you feel the most free.